Well, a very big day for a special cricketer who will be completing over a decade entertaining fans across the country. Virat Kohli, his 100th Test match right behind me here in this PCA Stadium here at Mohali just a while back. The first Test match between India and Sri Lanka began here at the Mohali Stadium, and Virat Kohli will be playing in his 100th Test match. Just a while back, the PC had organized a felicitation function for the cricketer, and later on the BCCI also will be holding some kind of an event. But yes, as far as the match is concerned, it has begun. This is a very historical match insofar as Virat Kohli is concerned, someone who's been around for over a decade. 11 years. He made his debut in 2011, scoring almost 8,000 runs. And because of his passion and hard work, many would say there was a mix of aggression and talent, because of which Virat Kohli is what he is today. One of the best batsmen, one of the best players the cricketing world has produced. And to talk more about what this phenomenon of Virat Kohli is, I'm joined by my national sports editor, Rohit Mahajan.
Hi.
Rohit, a big day for Virat Kohli. But tell us, how would you define, you've been following cricket, you've been following Virat Kohli for all these years. How would you define the phenomena of Virat Kohli?
Yeah, Virat Kohli, right through the 80s, 90s, 2000s, we've had some superstar cricketers. We had Sachin Tendulkar, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Then we have Kohli. In some ways, you can say that Kohli defined the age, the confidence, the persona of the times. And it's not merely about the money that came into Indian cricket in the 90s. It's also about the aggression that came into Indian cricket. We had Ganguly. He was a game changer. Probably one of the finest captains we've ever had. Then, of course, we had Dhoni, maybe a better captain then. And many regard him as the greatest Indian captain ever. He won India the World Cup after a gap of 28 years. And tactically a very strong individual. Kohli may not be at the same level in terms of tactics and his ability to read the game, but his passion for the game, his passion for victories, I think defines him. I think he's been a game changer in terms of the aggression and the passion that he brought to the game. Right. So that would define him, apart from his fantastic batting.
Okay. 11 years he's been around. He made his debut in 2011. He started as a very young, aggressive cricketer. Many would remember him for some of those controversial moments. Yeah. But the kind of talent he brought in, the kind of passion he brought in for this game, how did it impact the Indian cricket team per se?
Yeah, you're right. He began as a very brash individual. Who probably got into some controversies he shouldn't have got into. That happened. But I think over the last 10 years, we've seen the growth of Kohli as a leader, as an individual, as a human being. He has become, I think, much more grounded now. He's much more calmer now. Though on the field, he is still extremely passionate and very fiery and sometimes very controversial. Some of the stuff he does, the celebrations he does after wins or wickets. So, yes, we've seen his growth over the last 10 years. And he transformed Indian cricket in a big way in one particular aspect. I think the fitness, the emphasis on fitness that he brought into the game has been, I think, one of the defining qualities about him. It's always said that he's the first into the nets and the last out of the nets. He has so much energy. His focus on better diet, his focus on getting better trainers for the team, his focus on getting the team better prepared physically. I think that's one of the defining qualities about him. He realized that when he was fitter, he was able to run better. He was able to dive even after scoring 99 runs or 100 runs. And he had more energy. He changed his diet. He became fitter. Less fat and more muscle is all muscle. So you have to give it to him for that.
100th Test match, but one of the first when he's not the captain. So does he get into a new role completely? As a captain, there's a lot of pressure on him, the pressure to deliver, the pressure to perform as a captain. Now, with that pressure taken care of, can we see a different Kohli now, or he'll continue to be what he was?
He would remain very aggressive. He's a team man. He wants to win all the time. And I don't think pressure affected his batting at all as captain. the pressure of being the captain. I think he brought out the best in him. And over the last, from 14, 15, 16, since he became the captain of right from his first test captain, he scored centuries in that test match in Australia. He went for a win. India lost by not a huge margin. India went for a win in the fourth innings. And his passion for the game is going to remain the same. He wanted to remain the captain for, I think, a couple of years more, until the next year's World Cup at least. That has been taken away from him, you can say, maybe against his will. He, of course, gave up captaincy on his own, but it was clear that he wanted to remain captain, and he had actually said that. So I hope that doesn't affect him. The fact that his desire to remain captain has been taken away, I hope that it won't affect him, and perhaps it won't affect him.
But one thing, I mean, as you yourself said, that there's some kind of, hurt, when he left that captaincy. Do you believe he has not spoken much about that, except that, he stepped down? Yeah. What are people around him telling you? Is there some side of a hurt still that, this was not the way he should have, got out as the captain of the Indian cricket team? It could have been more, as you mentioned, that, he would have, wanted to stay on at least till the World Cup. So, will that impact the performance?
I hope not. Though over the last couple of years, his form has not been at the level it was over the last few years previously. So I hope that won't happen. But I fear that his passion, I fear that just might, at the back of his mind, that just might be bothering him a bit. I hope when he goes into the match position, into the middle, that would not affect him. He has been batting well in the nets, and he has looked out of form, but he hasn't been able to get big runs. In South Africa, he did play against his character in the final test match. He was not as flamboyant and as aggressive as he has been. He held himself back a bit. So he has that ability to change his game according to the situation. So I hope that he would be able to manage this maybe slight feeling of hurt as well.
Thank you so much, Rohit. And we also have some, if I can just make way for this ambulance, some of the fans of Virat Kohli here who have come up. Ticket कब से लिया आपने?
Sir, ticket the moment they get online we purchase it.
आपने ले लिया.
Yes.
तो कैसा लग रहा है? 100वें टेस्ट में खेल रहे हैं विराट.
सर हम आज अपने ऑफिस से भी इसीलिए लीव करके आए हैं बिकॉज कोहली का 100th टेस्ट है एंड वी आर बिग फैन ऑफ कोहली एंड वी होप दैट ही विल स्कोर हिज 100.
बट आज पहली बार वो कैप्टन के रूप में नहीं आएंगे ग्राउंड में, तो थोड़ा सा एज विराट कोहली फैन थोड़ा डिसअपॉइंटमेंट?
नो सर, वी आर नॉट डिसअपॉइंटेड अनलेस अंटिल ही इज प्लेइंग फॉर द कंट्री. वी आर गुड इनफ विद इट.
तो अभी भी लगता है आपको कि विराट कोहली में वो पैशन वो है अभी भी?
सर बिल्कुल है ये, और हम कौन होते हैं उसको जज करने वाले सर.
ठीक है.
उन्होंने वो इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर है, नंबर 1 क्रिकेटर है, तो इसके आगे सर हम क्या कहें.
आप बताइए, कोहली का 100वां टेस्ट मैच 11 साल से एंटरटेन किया पूरे इंडियन फैंस को. यू एज अ फैन, हाउ डू यू लुक एट इट?
मैं तो बहुत एक्साइटेड हूँ बिकॉज मैं पर्सनली उनको फॉलो करता हूँ विराट कोहली को एंड इन फिटनेस ऑल्सो. तो मैं बहुत ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड हूँ और उनका 100 टेस्ट मैच है, ये बहुत बड़ी अचीवमेंट है एज अ क्रिकेटर. किसी भी कंट्री के लिए अगर आप खेल रहे हो तो 100 टेस्ट मैच खेलना एक आप में ही एक बहुत बड़ी बात
तो
है.
आपके ये जो टिकट है ये आपको नहीं लगता एक हिस्टोरिकल टिकट हो गया आपके लिए? इफ आई कैन शो इट क्लियरली, दिस इज फॉर देम, दे हैव रियली दे विल ट्रेजर दिस टिकट फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम. कितना इंपॉर्टेंट लगता है ये टिकट आपके लिए?
एक्चुअली मैंने यहाँ पे मोहाली स्टेडियम में जितने भी इंडिया के मैच देखे हैं, मैंने सारी टिकट सेव करके रखी हुई हैं. तो मैं बहुत बड़ा फैन हूँ और मैं खुद पर्सनली क्रिकेट खेलता था, तो मतलब मेरी तो क्रिकेट से बहुत ही ज़्यादा जुड़ा हूँ.
तो उम्मीद है कि कोहली से एटलीस्ट ऑटोग्राफ लेने का मौका मिले.
होप सो.
Thank you so much. So there you have fans who have assembled here. This is, in a sense, a very historical cricket test match. Though India is pitted against Sri Lanka, which has not been in the best of form of late, but the fact that this match brings in Virat Kohli in his 100th test match avatar, and that's precisely why fans, as we spoke to some of them, they've taken their day off from office and they've come here specifically to watch Virat Kohli in action. This is his first test match after he stepped down as the captain. But as we've been mentioning, for the last 11 years, Virat Kohli has been entertaining his fans across the globe, not just India. There have been fans across the globe who have been following his cricket, and they expect him to perform even in this 100th test match. As we speak, we are outside the stadium as we've been speaking. As we came here, we saw a large number of fans who are coming here just to watch Virat Kohli in action. And also importantly, this is a test match where Rohit Sharma takes over as the next cricket captain, takes over from Virat Kohli. He had yesterday at a press conference mentioned the kind of contribution Virat Kohli brings in to this Indian cricket team. We'll keep you providing latest updates on the first test match between India and Sri Lanka, and also the 100th test match of Virat Kohli. We'll keep on providing you all the updates. You can log on to our website, tribuneindia.com, and also follow us on our social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter. Meanwhile, thanks for watching.